Taylor here in my studio. Happy Halloween. I have lots of fun stuff to share with you today. Number one, I have a new Christmas pattern. I know it's Halloween, but it's never too early for Christmas, right? Here's the Christmas tree skirt. It is done. It is finished. And the pattern is now available. And here is the fabric kit for the tree skirt. It also is now available. Almost 7 yards of fabric to make the tree skirt. Okay, so that's the one thing that I wanted to share with you, the most important thing. As you hop on, please wish me a happy Halloween and everybody else that's out there. And our European friends are going to think we're crazy, which I kind of am. I love Halloween. Because I love Halloween so much, I am also going to give away something today, the final skeleton pattern, to one lucky participant. If you are interested in receiving the skeleton pattern today, please put it in the chat and say, I love Halloween. That's the key word. I love Halloween, and you will be entered into a drawing for the skeleton kit. Well, it's not a kit, it doesn't have the fabric, but it's a foundation panel. So great to see all of you hopping on. Happy Halloween to all of you. I hope you are having a lovely day so far. I love Halloween. Okay, so what else do we have to talk? Amelia thinks I've lost my mind. I kind of do on Halloween. Okay, so here we are. I love Halloween too. I love to dress up. I love the fun of it. I love being a little bit crazy. And so yeah, there you go. So the other things that I wanted to share with you, in addition to the tree skirt pattern being finished and available, the kit for the tree skirt finished and available, that includes all of the fabric for the collage and the background fabric, the trim. So all of this fabric, let me show you. All of this fabric to create all of the collage, all the embellishments. It's all cut to exactly the size that you need for the pattern. And there are only, there's a very limited number of kits. So there you go. We've also had some other exciting things happening. We changed up the free pattern. So if you are on my email newsletter, you should have received this free mushroom pattern. And if you have not signed up for my email newsletter, please do, and you will receive this mushroom pattern. Look, it matches my bow. Okay, so those are the things that I needed to say. Let's see, Amelia, is there anything else? Oh, Houston. I'm creeping out my daughter. Okay, so Houston, if you live anywhere nearby, or if you want to come to a great big quilt party where everybody in the world is, come to Houston. Quilt Festival starts. The preview night starts on Wednesday night. And then Quilt Festival runs Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday from 10 to 7. Thursday, Friday, Saturday this week. So that's November 2nd through November 3rd through the 6th. And please come to the Collage Quilter booth and say hello. And I won't be in my Halloween costume anymore. I'll be back to my normal self, but I'd love to have you come by. It is booth number 1323. 13! 1323 is our booth number. So please come and see us. And what else do I need to say, Amelia?
Sincere apology for this.
Amelia thinks I need to apologize. She feels really bad that I'm doing this for you. Okay, well, I apologize. It's Halloween. I love Halloween. Okay, anything else that you want to talk about? New pattern?
That we're not going to get orders on?
Free giveaway. This is the free giveaway if you're interested, because it's a skull, because it's Halloween. And come see us at Quilt Festival. And while we're in Quilt Festival, we will not be getting orders out. So if you order something online, we will get your order, but we won't be in the studio to get it out. So you'll have to wait until next week. And starting on Monday, we will get your orders out. So if you have orders, if you place an order, if you're not able to come see us, if you can't come see us in Houston and you place an order, then just know that it will be delayed by a few days. Okay.
Someone said, what candy have you been eating?
What candy have I been eating? Oh, I have a special concoction, actually. Maybe I'll share the recipe if you come and see me at the booth. Okay. I think that's it. It was just a really short visit. So if any of you have questions about what you're working on, ask them now. And I have one final question for you, and that is, what are you afraid of with collage quilts? And is there something that's holding you back? So we're talking about, it's spooky Halloween. What are you afraid of? My brother's afraid of people dressing up for Halloween. It grosses him out. I think some of us, it's so hard for me to be serious when I'm dressed like this. So I kind of have to be in character. I'm sorry. Okay. What I'm afraid of. So I'm asking you what you're afraid of. And I'm going to talk about what I'm afraid of when it comes to collage quilting. So, of course.
You haven't moved out of the way yet.
Oh, yes, I have.
Oh, you have?
Boom! What I'm afraid of sometimes is making a mistake or failure. Nobody likes to fail. But I think I have learned through the years, through lots of failure, that failure is okay. In fact, we should embrace failure. I can't help it. I'm dressed up like a crazy doll and I'm turning into one. So this Halloween, I think I'm going to make a new assignment for everybody. So in the coming months, let's try not to be afraid of failure. Let's try to embrace failure and use it as a learning tool. So failure really is how we learn, and it's okay. I think we've created kind of a safe space in our Facebook group, the Collage Quilter Academy Facebook group, where you can go ahead and post your questions or post your pictures, post your frustrations and your failure. And that's okay as long as you are, it's a way to move forward and to grow. So that's what I'm here for, to help you grow. And that's what everybody else is here for, to be support as you go through the process of creating. So that's one thing that I think we're all afraid of, and that is failure. Amelia, what are you afraid of?
In real life,
Yeah.
getting kidnapped.
Oh, Amelia's afraid of getting kidnapped. I think everybody's afraid of that. Good one. I meant in like your, you know, in your, Amelia's afraid of zombies. That's right. She's really afraid that a zombie apocalypse is coming. And that's why her mom made fabric that is the zombie, how to survive a zombie apocalypse. And I gave her all the rules in the fabric, how to survive the zombie apocalypse. Amelia, can you give us one of the rules for how to survive the zombie apocalypse?
Don't be loud. I don't know.
Avoid loud noises, because zombies are attracted to loud noises. Okay, that's one. Good. All right, I'm going to look at your questions. I'm going to see if anybody is participating. And lots of people that love Halloween. I'm so glad. I know there are some people that don't like Halloween. We got a really funny email a few years ago. I don't remember what pattern it was that we were. It was probably the skeleton pattern that we were posting, that we were sharing, and somebody emailed and said they don't like to participate in this holiday. And what was it exactly?
I don't know if we should say. I don't want
It was funny though.
Anyone.
Anyway, we love Halloween around here because it is silly and it's fun. And as Susan says, adulting is hard and Halloween is fun. It's one day where we can be goofy and silly and fun and transform ourselves into something that we're not every day. And that, my friends, is why I love Halloween. Okie dokie. So, Diane, what candy have I been eating? Lots of chocolate. Somebody asked, who did your makeup? It's adorable. Well, who do you think? Who do you think did my makeup? Emily. Emily did her makeup. Sonia said she's afraid of ventriloquist dummies.
Maybe we should go grab it.
I should go get my dummy for you. I have one of those ventriloquist dummies, and my kids have, and I had it as a child. And my kid, and I kept it in my cedar chest, so just because it was a childhood toy. And my kids discovered it, and they have always been freaked out by my ventriloquist dummy. So that's really funny that you say that. Oh, good. Somebody said they are afraid of starting and picking fabrics. So here's the thing. I want to encourage you to channel a little bit of your craziness and go ahead and dig in and just go crazy on your fabric. I selected last night, I was just kind of playing around and getting ready for a new project that's bumping around in my head. And I just started pulling out so much fabric. I wish I could pull it all over here to show you, but I probably pulled 50 fabrics for this project, and I've laid them all out. And that's what you need to do. Just know that when you're selecting fabric, that you need to pull in as much as you possibly can. Go shopping, buy some fabric, find somebody that will sell you 1/8 of a yard cuts, and go shopping. And if you can't find anybody, then you can buy my kits, my bundles. But that's the number one key. And just being able to kind of play with the fabric to get started will really loosen you up so that you're not afraid, so that really you're actually excited and energized. And that's my best tip for getting started and overcoming the fear. Go for the fabric and have fun and pull out as much as you think that you might be able to use. So I hope that is helpful. Diane also said, starting something new is always intimidating. It's always scary to start something new because we don't know really. I never really know the direction of something until I move further down the path. And the more we do that, the more we understand that fear is very typical. And that if we trust the process and we trust our fabric choices, then we can overcome our fear and we can anticipate that it's going to go through kind of these twists and turns until we accomplish what we're trying to do. Okay, so somebody else said, I'm afraid of Chucky at Halloween, but as far as collage quilting, I'm scared that my fabric choices are not wide enough. Well, that's easy. Go shopping. Go fabric shopping. Here's another thing. If you don't want to spend money to increase your fabric selection, I know that Goodwill places will take fabric a lot, and sometimes you can find fabric that people are selling or giving away on marketplaces like Facebook, or in Utah we have KSL, and I know people who've scored just oodles of fabric looking for those sorts of things. So we can always, and that's the thing, we just need to start kind of digging in and looking for sources of fabric. Do a fabric swap with your guild. Maybe we should do a fabric swap with Collage Quilter community. That would be fun. Ooh, I like that idea. I like that idea. A fabric swap. Who's in for a fabric swap? Me. Okay, good. I'm glad. Doodle quilting scares Susan. Doodle quilting is scary. It's scary. It scares me too. And that is why I always choose fabric or thread that matches my fabric so that you can't see all of my mistakes. And the fact of the matter is that to be a doodle stitcher and to be a confident doodle stitcher requires lots of hours of quilting. So just give yourself the room to make mistakes and to be imperfect. Let go of perfection, ladies, because we need to allow ourselves the practice. And so one tip, match your thread to the fabric that you're working on, and then your mistakes will be a lot less obvious. They won't be quite so scary. Okay. Here's someone else that said, I'm afraid of the sewing machine. After putting all that work in, I'm frightened of ruining it. Good point. That's a good one to be afraid of. I used to be afraid of that too. Again, so one method is to hire somebody else to quilt your project. If you love it so much that you're afraid to ruin it, pay someone else to quilt it. Or have your little practice sandwich ready and nearby, and have your seam ripper nearby. I have some great seam rippers. Maybe I should be giving them away to people that are afraid. Should I do that? I should probably give away some seam rippers because people are afraid of quilting. Okay. If you want a seam ripper, go get those seam rippers that are back there. Those really nice ones. We have some really nice seam rippers. I'm going to give away 3 beautiful seam rippers to somebody that is afraid of making a mistake when they're doing their quilting. So if you want a seam ripper, then you have to confess that you're afraid of quilting, like Susan already did, and Susan gets a seam ripper. Okay. Susan, you just have to tell me what color you want. Let's see what color we have here. Thank you. We have a red seam ripper. These are nice. Let me show you what they look like. Ooh, heavy. It matches my bow. Ooh, there's a short little. That's for your protection if you're upstairs working all alone in the dark. And on this side is the seam ripper. Bam. Beautiful little seam ripper. Okay, Susan, what color do you want? Do you want red or yellow or purple or teal? You let me know what you want, and I'm going to ship it to you for free because that's the kind of gal I am. Okay. Let's see here. DR on YouTube said, I'm afraid of starting a collage quilt. Just have to jump in and get one started. Channel your inner crazy. Get over that fear. Let's just get let's just dive in and get started and pick a project that's small. And Amelia, what would be a small, good? Oh, I know a perfect project. This little freebie right here. Geez, you don't have to pay for it. Go to the Collage Quilter website, collagequilter.com, and sign up for this free little mushroom pattern. And then you have nothing to be afraid of. Just pull out all your red fabric and your white and some gray and dig in, and that will get you started. Okay, you got it? Okay. Let's see, somebody just screamed at me. And then she apologized because she realized her caps. She screamed at me, on the tree skirt, are those half circles on the sides? Yes. So, well, no. Let's see here. The way to do the tree skirt. It's all explained in the instructions so that it makes a totally perfect circle. And they're not really half circles. So there you go. There's the tree skirt. Oh, it's so cute. It's so cute. Somebody keeps asking me, do the dolls have faces? No! There aren't faces on the dolls. There aren't faces. If you want to put a face on the doll, you can put a face on the doll.
Or don't.
Or don't. I don't want a face on my doll. I don't want it to look like this. I don't want to mess up. That's something I'm afraid of. I'm afraid of messing up a face. Okay. I think
Karen Garrett from our retreat said, thanks for the mushroom pattern. Have you been eating them?
You might think that, right? But all I had to do was dress up like a crazy doll, and it's just coming out. So maybe those of you who are afraid of getting started collage quilting, or maybe if you're afraid of selecting fabric, maybe if you dress up a little crazy one day, then that will help you, because you'll overcome your fear and you will become feared if you do that. Okay, let's see what else. Linda said, I'm afraid to get started. I'm a quilter, used to sew clothing for my family. I knit, I crochet, have done all sorts of crafts for sale, but why can't I get started at collage? Why? Let's see here. Why can't she get started at collage? She's intimidated because everything else that she's done requires a lot of precision. And you're probably really good, Linda, right? I'm guessing if you sew clothing, you're very accurate with your measurements and your cutting, and then you're doing your little knitting and whatever it is that you do. And so that you are, you've turned yourself into a little perfectionist. And collage quilting is definitely a step outside that box. It really is a matter of embracing imperfection and letting go of rules. Okay. The thing of it is, people ask me all the time, well, how should I cut this? And I'm like, it doesn't matter. Just cut it. Just cut it and let go of all of the traditional the rigid requirements in traditional quilting or any of the other disciplines. We have to let that go. So again, I think it might be a great idea to dress up crazy and just say, I'm letting go. Put on your wig and say, I'm going to let go. I'm going to channel my inner crazy Emily, and I'm just going to kind of play. That's the other thing. We have to remember that this really is playtime. It is playtime to play with fabric. Quilters, we love fabric. Buy more. Just play with it. Okay? That's my advice. Okie dokie. Let's see here. Somebody just asked if Amelia was dressed up for Halloween.
I will be tonight.
She will be tonight, but she didn't want to spill the beans because we're having a costume party and she didn't want me to see her costume. Actually, she came to my house to get part of her costume. So she's not dressed up quite yet. Clowns are scary. I agree. Clowns are scary. Okay. Elizabeth said, I've been practicing with many of your other quilt patterns, trying to get ready to do a large panel collage quilt. Eek! It scares me. Okay, well, you're doing what you need to do to overcome it. Practice, practice, practice. And then just remember, let go, have fun with this. This is playtime. Seriously though, if I approach a project with the idea that this is playtime, this is my creative time, and trying to tap into my inner artist, I will lose my inhibitions. And sometimes I make a mistake and I can learn from my mistake. But most often these days, when I allow myself to just think of, I think we have to allow ourselves to be, we have to be willing to make a mistake in order to, that's the inhibition, right? We've got to overcome the fear of making a mistake so that we can be creative. That's how we tap into that. We step outside of the restrictions of rules and rigid fabric requirements, and then we can be better artists. Okay, so there's another person that's, I'm still learning free motion quilting, so she fears messing up the quilting. I'm with you. I'm with you, except I have an announcement. Apparently I am a quilter because I am a Bernina ambassador. Ooh, they're probably really embarrassed of me right now. I announced this. So they announced it on last Tuesday, the 25th, their new class of Bernina ambassadors. And guess who's a new Bernina ambassador? Me. And I'm not even a very good quilter, but I'm not afraid to make mistakes. And it's through my willingness to make mistakes that I'm becoming a better quilter, and I'm becoming more familiar with my machine, and I'm becoming better. I am no expert though. I guarantee you that. In fact, I should show you one of the quilts that I messed up on so bad. It's really funny. Amelia, grab the Mayday quilt that's in, grab the Mayday quilt that's in that bag. Okay, guys, I'm going to show you one of my biggest failures that is actually really hysterical. So when I first got my Longarm machine, which I don't use anymore because I took it down to make space for more stuff in the studio. I was too impatient to learn. And I'm like, you know what better way to learn than on a collage quilt? So of course I had to learn on Mayday like an idiot.
Can you open it up?
Yeah, open that up and show everybody the quilt. So it's actually a gorgeous quilt. I love this quilt, but this is called No Fear Idiot. It's a gorgeous quilt, right? But this was the very first quilt that I put on my Longarm machine, and I had no idea what I was doing. I didn't even use batting for this quilt. That's how dumb I was. So I want you to take a look, turn it around. I'm going to show you some horrible, horrible quilting. Let's see. It's so bad. It's so bad. Look at all of this. Like, it's just a big fat mess because I didn't take the time to practice. But guess what? I learned from my big fat mistakes, and it's fine. I don't care. I learned that before I put a quilt on the machine, I need to make sure my tension is right. And I always need to check the stitching. So I understand the fear, but push through the fear, and then you'll make a big fat mistake like I did, and then you'll learn. You won't do it again. So there. Okay, somebody said scared of starting on the mouth and teeth of the nutcracker. Oh no, those are easy. do a SAS tracing. I think I've explained how to do that. It's easy, easy peasy. Okay. Let's see here. Other questions. Diane says, I have a very creepy life-size Halloween decoration man with a ventriloquist dummy on his lap. That's awesome. Oh, Sonia. Sonia said, the first project I did for collage quilting was my bear, my grizzly bear. Bought a kit from Keepsake Quilting. Had no clue what she was getting into. There are many things she wishes she would have done differently because, number one, that is an advanced pattern. It's a very difficult pattern. And I'm sorry that you did that, but I'll bet you learned a lot and you pushed through. And now she says it's the piece she's most proud of. So very cool. I'll bet you learned bunches. Let's see. Oh, so lots of people are afraid of quilting. That's really interesting. Penny says yes to a fabric swap. Okay. And so does Susan. Fabric swap. Great. Diane says, seriously, I'm afraid of dying before my husband, and he truly finds all my fabric stash. Yeah, that's a good one. Well, you better start using it, making more quilts. Hi, Chrissy. You're probably wondering what. I know that Europeans don't celebrate Halloween quite the way Americans do. Yeah, we're crazy here in America. Practice makes progress. Love that. Good. The eyes really creeped you out. Let's see. Oh, yeah. Somebody said quilt guides or quilt guilds at quilt shows usually have dumpster dives for unwanted fabric. That's a perfect place to pick up some fabric. Diane says she's afraid of finding the correct lights, mediums, and darks. Can be very scary and challenging since I feel so many of the colors meld together and can be in any one of those groups. Again, practice. And as a collage quilter, we need to expand the spectrum of values. So even though it's scary to buy fabric that we don't love, most of the time we are kind of in a rut buying fabric that falls into a small value spectrum, the midtones. That's what is the beautiful fabric out there that most of us love. So my challenge to you to overcome your fear of selecting the right fabric is to expand your spectrum so that you're getting really light lights and really dark darks. And then you'll have a much easier time sorting and distinguishing between your values. Okay, so somebody just said a seam ripper. They'll take a seam ripper. I have two more seam rippers. So here's the deal. If you want a seam ripper, I'm going to take, I already promised one to, I think, Susan. So if you want a seam ripper, email me. Emily, no, we don't want to be inundated with emails. Just put it in here and we'll select two more winners. Okay. Let's see here. Okay. I'm just looking. So we've got a few people that have requested seam rippers. Great. We'll get those out to you, but probably not until after Quilt Festival. I'll tell you what else I'm really afraid of right now. I am really afraid of failing at Quilt Festival. I'm afraid that we won't sell enough inventory. I'm afraid that it won't be well attended. That's something I have a lot of anxiety about that right now. So if you were just kind of on the fence, please come to Quilt Festival and see me. And yeah, it'll be really fun. It'll be a fun party. Okay, let's see here. Oh, we have lots of people afraid of quilting. So we're going to maybe try and attack that fear. Let's see. Lots of people afraid of quilting. Okay, let's. Karen said, I'm scaring her. Let's see here. I'm scaring Amelia too. Let's see here. Values. We talked about values. I want you to focus on increasing the spectrum of values. Karen says, have you been eating the mushrooms? Let's see, what's next? Red to hide the blood spots. Okay, Susan, you got it. You got a red seam ripper. Fabric colors scare me, as it is sometimes hard to determine which group the colors fall into, lights to mediums to darks. Okay, this is good to know, because we're going to talk more about this stuff. Somebody pointed out a really good tip, that they made a collage quilt with their grandkids. And I think that's a great idea, because kids are uninhibited. They are not afraid to just dive in. And so that's a good idea, to maybe invite your grandkids over as you're jumping in. Let's see. Yeah, so somebody just said that's so right, about most of us are trying to do things super, super well. And so we're afraid of failure. The more we do collage, the better we become. So maybe it would be a really good idea to just I've got some challenges coming up for you guys. Okay, so hang tight. We're gonna have some fun. We're gonna have some fun with making mistakes. Let's see. Amelia, can you help me? Do we have any other big questions? I'm kind of slow. So Sonia said, do you sell the seam ripper on your site? I don't have it for sale on my site. I need to. It's just something that I haven't gotten on my site yet. I'm sorry you had to cancel, Gail. Let's see her. Okay, so I think we've answered everybody's questions, and hopefully we've addressed everybody's fears too. It's been really fun to be with you on this Halloween morning in my studio. And so I think now I'm going to go do something scary and make a mess. Actually, I need to attack this mess and clean it up. That's what's scary in my studio right now. So wish me luck at Quilt Festival. I leave tomorrow. Me and Amelia leave tomorrow. We will be setting up our booth, and I hope to see many of you there. If you don't get there, then boo-hoo on you. But thanks for checking in on this live video. So I will be back, and I will be back to normal next Monday, 11 o'clock, live in my studio every Monday, 11 o'clock Mountain Time. So have a lovely day, everyone. And I will see you again soon. Cheers.